Welcome to my podcast, Cool Down with Abhay, where I bring in different people from the sports industry to come and engage in conversation with me so that you and I can learn more about the Indian sports ecosystem. Let's get right into it. Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Cool Down with Abhay. I'm really excited about this episode because I've got a South Indian football legend with me today. I've got Raman Vijayan, and I'm really excited to have this conversation with him. So let's not waste any more time and get right into it. Welcome.
Hello.
Yeah. So, how I typically like to start off my podcast is I ask my guests how they got into the sport that they are following. So, you were a football player before you became a coach. So, how did you get introduced to the game football?
Yeah, actually, my father, mother both are physical education teachers. I born in a village in South Tamil Nadu. So from there, my career starts because both are physical education teachers. So you can't escape from sports. So I used to play all the games when I was small. Whatever games available in that in that period. So I was an athlete. I was a volleyball player. I used to play ball, badminton, tennis, kite, like various kind of sport I involved. But one particular time I joined in a sports hostel with Tamil Nadu State Sports Development. I was uh, conducting a sports hostel.
Okay.
So I joined in a sports hostel. I think 1986 or something like that, when I was class 7. So from there, I took up career football as my period sport. So from there, I think yeah, near about 5 years I studied in sports hostel. So then I moved to the college. From there, I got opportunity to play for the Tamil Nadu State, and I got an appointment, sports quota appointment in Indian Bank. From there, I moved to East Bengal. This is what mm, from from Tamil Nadu to Bengal I moved.
Yeah.
The year 1996, um, I moved to East Bengal. Before that, there was a huge journey before I got to into the Indian Bank job because there was Tamil Nadu is not a you cannot say a football oriented state, so it's very difficult, very hardly to players move from you know Chennai to Calcutta. I think after a long time I moved. I think 20 years back, some of our Tamil Nadu players played in Calcutta, but after that I I was the one who left the job, and I signed for East Bengal. The basic thing was like to achieve more goals. Uh, to play for the country. All my these are my dreams where I wanted to fulfill. So I left my Indian Bank job and I moved to Kolkata. But it's a tough journey, because when I decided to move to Calcutta, everyone said that okay, uh, you're taking a wrong decision because you're leaving a bank job, and you're moving to play a professional. But will happen. No one knows, so be careful. Everyone said the same thing, but I had only one thing in my mind. I wanted to achieve my goals, to play for my country, and to prove that I can able to be one of the recognized striker in this country. That's what my journey begins.
That's a really amazing story. And speaking of being from Chennai down in South India, and you got to go all the way to Kolkata, which is the hub of football in our country. And your first professional football club was with East Bengal Football Club. So Can you tell me a little bit of what that experience was like playing with East Bengal? I'm sure that you would have been a part of lots of Kolkata derbies. So, if for people who have never seen those kinds of matches, can you tell me what those kinds of matches were like for you, being a part of it?
Those days, only the Calcutta, only the place where you wanted to establish yourself as a footballer. Every footballer's dreams to play for Calcutta clubs, either Mohun or East Bengal or Mumbai Sporting. And I got an opportunity to play for East Bengal. So the first game was against Mohun.
Oh wow!
That was my biggest challenge because so when I entered to the Salt Lake Stadium, there was 80,000 crowd was supporting both the teams, and I was really got nervous how I am going to survive here. So it's the best atmosphere I never been experienced. But yes, once you are landed up a place, you start learning things day by day, and you wanted to adapt into that current situation. And people love when you go score goals, so you have to perform for them to prove yourself. That's more important thing which I have experienced. And it was a struggling year for me actually. In the initially 3 4 months was raining because I never had an experience of playing in rainy slushy grounds because in South India. But in Calcutta League, most of the matches happen in the rainy uh, grounds, so you have to adapt into that rainy situation. So because I never had an experience, so I failed 3 4 games, and people start shouting at go back Raman, go back to Chennai and all. And really I was wondering whether I've taken a right decision to move to Kolkata. But mm, God helps me. One all rain days gone. Then one derby against Mountain Sporting, I scored a wonderful goal from midfield. I dribbled three past defenders and I scored. That was the only goal we won that match. Then people start believing me and they start saying, yes, you can do something. People start believing me because that year Bhaichung left to JCT because the previous year he was a hero on that striker position. Then people had a lot of expectation about the striker who replaced Baichung is not an easy thing. But
Yeah.
somewhat I got you know some people start believing in from that match. So slowly I start scoring goals, and then I mean very important goals in my life. Federation Cup final. After 11 years we won the Federation Cup. I scored the golden goal. So
Nice.
these are the thing uh, made me some kind of okay recognized striker in this country.
That's really, really nice. And you had a long career with East Bengal, right? So, uh, do you have like one favorite moment from your entire career with them?
I played 4 seasons for East Bengal. Uh, this first year and uh, I think 1998. The both year I think the first year was a memorable year because I scored most number of golden goals in that year. Uh, East Bengal, the Federation Cup final, and the two Santosh Trophy goals, semi-final and finals. And again, 98, the league against Mohun league final. I scored a golden goal. These are the memorable moment. People still uh, remembering and start saying about those days. It's really uh, it's one of the best moments in my career.
Yeah. So for people watching, Raman is the fourth highest all-time top scorer in the I League. And before the league actually became the I League, when it was the National Football League, you are one of the other two, other than Bhaichung Bhutia, to have been the top scorer. The only three of you guys have ever been in that position, right? So something I really like about him is Raman has played in all of the hubs of football in our country. You have played in Kolkata, you played in Goa, you've gone down to Kerala as well, and you've even played for more with the Sporting in Kolkata, which is crazy. So, I'd love to hear your opinion on how football has changed in your playing time to now in these different areas.
Yes, yeah, Kolkata football is still same. There are much professionalism supposed to be happen in Calcutta football, but other areas has developed a lot. When you say in Kerala was my best year, I can say, because me and I am Vijayan played together for that season. The entire season was too good season for me, because that year I became a top scorer nationally, and I think we finished with both of them. Finished with 76 goals or something as a partnership. So it was a great year for me. And the Kerala fans are, uh, so they love football, whatever, either a 7-a-side tournament or 11-a-side tournament, club side, or any other the amateur side. So they start following throughout. Even now, after Kerala Blasters in ISL, the followers are crazy. So never change in Kerala. It's going up. But for me, Goa, it's unfortunately that the I League teams and the I League supporters, the ratio gone down because of no I League teams properly. Not like Dempo, Salgaonkar, Church Brothers, or how they were before. There was a huge, even I League games was a huge, fan followers in Goa. Now, yeah, that ultimately changed to FC Goa now. But the quality of players from both the states, uh, not like earlier. That that that's my opinion, because my days there was a lot of players from Goa and Kerala was in the national team, as well as they were playing very good in club level as well. But Calcutta, uh, the football is there, but the local players, like Bengali players, are not much like in our days. Our days, there was a number of players who play for the country, also play for Mohanbagan, East Bengal, and other clubs, but that gone down. This is the differences I can see. But whereas there's a new state, like Bangalore has developed more, and other Tata and other cities like Mumbai. Uh, the other cities, football has grown up.
That's really nice. So you just mentioned I am Vijayan. I would love to know what it was like to actually play with a player like him. Like I think every Indian football fan in our country knows how influential he was to Indian football. So playing alongside someone like that, can you tell me what that was like?
Yeah, so he was my ideal player when I was small, because when I start my playing career, he was the one who dominated Indian football, and I really wanted to be like him, because the name sake also the same similar. So like मेरा नाम में एक बड़ा player है इंडिया में, so I just wanted to follow him, always wanted to be him. I'm really lucky that I've played along with him. He's a really exceptional talent. You can say I'm really enjoyed playing with him, and most of the goals he assists me, whatever I scored at FC Cochin. So that was that was a huge amount of potential player like him. It's very difficult to find nowadays.
Yeah, 100%. So, other than your club playing career, you've also gotten to represent the national team. You played in tournaments like the Asian Cup, the SAFF Cup and Games. You were part of the 1998 World Cup qualifiers in Qatar. So, can you tell me what it was like to actually represent the national team?
Yeah, it was very tough journey for me to get into the national squad because that time there was a lot of competition in the striker position because Bhaichung Vijayan was in a top form and Bruno Coutinho, myself, there were a lot of other strikers were there in the camps. So it's the final day itself, we don't know who will be in the first 18. So that, but for me, it was a very big challenge for me to play in the national team because very hardly you'll get a chance to play as a striker. So coaches used to play us in a winger, sometimes midfield, sometimes strikers. You will never know what position you are going to play. But for my first experience that I was in the bench against Philippines. I went and scored the debut in the World Cup. That was memorable in my life.
Nice.
Then after that, very yeah. But for me, in front of me there was a big challenge is to these both players Baichung and Vijayan always dominating Indian football. Uh, uh, that for me to catch up them and start scoring wherever I get chance. I played with Baichung also. I played with Vijayan also, and it was a amazing years. 'Cause nowadays, very difficult to find. Apart from Sunil. As a prolific strikers, but those days we had very big competitions every year. Who will be the top scorer? Like,
Nice,
it's a,
nice.
it's a really amazing experience.
So, after you finished with your playing career, you moved on to coaching and you completed your A license, I think, in 2014-15. And the first club that you actually coached was in my hometown, Bangalore, with South United Club. So, can you tell me what the experience was like to go from a player to a coach in that moment?
Yeah, actually, to become a coach is like it's not just happened because during my playing time, end of my career, I was captain Mountain Sporting, and that time I developed myself as the leadership quality. Okay, then that made me to think after my playing career what you will become. So then. Uh, so in that time, I used to visit Tata Football Academy often. So uh, from there, I was the that time the Tata Football Academy is the only academy who produce players for the country. Most of the players, from Tata Football Academy. So I wanted to set up a similar academy in our state, actually, Tamil Nadu. So I was dreaming to have okay, why don't we, set up an academy like Tata Football Academy? I don't know what to do, but I was having a, dream of doing similar academy like Tata Football Academy. And after done my C license in Calcutta, I came to Chennai and I start finding, meeting people. And I was telling about the value of grassroots development, and to develop our homegrown players. But people are not shown much interest about grassroots development and the academies because Tamil Nadu is a cricket oriented state and politics and cinema is number one thing for people, but the rest of the sport are not recognized properly. Then I moved to villages. I start developing the children who are not getting exposure. From there, I start my Noble Football Academy. So from there, I moved to KGF before I joined South United.
Oh,
So there is a, yeah. that year I developed myself as a coach. At that time I've done only B license. So I made a team, and a very young team I made, and we have won the Bangalore League that year. Was It was a memorable year for me as my coaching career, because I got an Bangalore writers award, best coach award, and all in that year. It was that year I got a confidence. Yes, I can coach, because throughout the year I learned myself what all the things I have to do to become a good coach. So I learn myself by doing mistakes, doing trainings. uh, then I got an offer for South United, the new club who have um, just uh, uh, organized in Bangalore Football League. So I moved to South United. It was a big challenge for me to get to the second division league, and you know, developing a team as a professional side. It was a big challenge, but somehow we managed, and we had a decent result in that year. A lot of players. Uh, uh, I managed a lot of players in the age group of 19 to 26 between, and then I moved to Chennai again. Uh, that you when you then During that South United, I finished my A license. Then I got an offer to from Delhi Dynamos to become a assistant coach.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that as well. When you moved to the ISL in Delhi Dynamos, you were manager to Roberto Carlos, right? And in my opinion, by the way, he is the best left back that I've seen ever. So I would love to know what it was like to actually play with, manage with him at Delhi Dynamos.
Personally, I was a fan of Brazil football. So I'm really during my since 90s, I start following Brazil national team, favorite teams in this world. In that time onwards, I used to follow this Roberto Carlos and Cafu's the attacking side backs. It always admire me to make me my team, side backs or has to be like a wingers. I start playing most of the wingers, side backs become wingers, like at that time onwards. I really admire Roberto Carlos. So once he was with me means like it's a big dream for a player. And it was an amazing experience. Worked with them for a whole year, and was a the person when he arrives itself, like you feel the energy. And the training ground, when he walks, when he kicks the ball, interact with the people, it makes big difference actually. We During our pre-season in Sweden, we had an amazing experience of friendly games, the other training sessions. He shared his experience, personal experience, Real Madrid and the other national team. It was amazing working with.
So while you were with Delhi Dynamos, you also got the opportunity to be a technical director of their grassroots program, which is where I think your interest in the academy scene of football started. So yeah, you went back home to Tamil Nadu, to Chennai, and you started your own football academy. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, actually, mm, 2009, that Nobel Football Academy has started. Was only started because of the poor background children. Uh, that 2009, then 2016 again. Uh, while I was with Delhi Dynamos, we traveled to England for pre-season. So I visited 3-4 academies. One was like West Bromwich Albion. That academy, they stayed in, when you see the league table, maybe 12 or 13 position they'll be stands, but they have 22 grounds in their own academy, which made me, uh, what of facilities they have. Even every clubs have such a wonderful facilities they have. So we were like far away from them, and I wanted to set up a similar academy, like a professional academy, in Tamil Nadu. So I started RVS, is Raman Vijayan Soccer School, uh, to for the elite program, the professional coaches, with a top class facilities, grass ground, and we start playing youth league, under 13, 15, 18 categories. So uh, then the people start start encouraging them and responding that residential academy, because people wanted to move these kind of academies. There's a lot of players we can produce, a lot of programs we have conducted, a lot of camps, summer camps, winter camps. We are connected with a lot of children. That helps us to to become a professional side. Till now we have been doing a great job. We have got 15 coaches with us, and we are doing pretty well in that area. And that's the thing. So when you get into the professional academy, you need to follow many important thing which you need to present to the parents as well. So you need to satisfy the parents, then only you can get the students. So because there are that area is most challenging for me, to convince these parents, because these elite parents are having big dreams, and they are very knowledgeable, and you cannot just tell them this and that. You need to explain them where this will go. So these are the challenging we've been facing, but now I think everyone understand where we are traveling.
So I have something really interesting. So when in your playing career, you spoke about how you used to play with great Indian strikers like Bhaichung, Bhutia, and Abhay Vijayan. So problem that we're facing today in Indian football is the lack of striker options. So with your academy, what is some way that you would work on building the next great Indian striker like yourself, maybe?
Yes, already I think we are produced one good striker. I think Shiva Shakti. You must have heard about him.
Yeah.
He recently signed for BFC. This boy, I think he joined age of 11, and now he's studying in a college first year, and he has been the last 3 years. I'm seeing him in a fantastic talent, because I, I I accept that I was not like him when I was 18, because I'm not so talented like him when I was 18. He's a top class striker, and he got the pace, he got endurance, and he never he comes from a very rural background where see this guy Shivashakti is one of the best strikers from our academy, uh, because when he was 11 years old, he joined in our academy, and uh, till 10th standard, we didn't get anything from him like a special quality or special thing. Suddenly he changes talent from 11th standard to past 3 years. I've been watching him. It's a unbelievable talent. He has speed. He has fantastic goal scoring ability and great endurance, and more than that, well disciplined. So these are the things. He also comes from a very rural background, and I think I think he's in the right place where he can develop even more better before getting to the professional level of either I League or ISL. Um, this academy all about produce players. That's what I believe. Most of the academies, whether they agree or not, but I believe produce players, not winning matches. Most of the academies are taking the academy to win matches. I think if you think about all that, you lose your concentrate of developing players. That's what we see our under 13, under 15. We never bother about losing 10 goals or 15 goals, but when they reach 18 years, okay, we start concentrating on how to play competitive games. So that's what we do. That's why we have been doing pretty well in under 18 category past 3 years. We have been every year we qualify in the final round. This year also we finished second with BFC. So my vision to be the players should not diverted of winning matches from the age of 13 or 14, 15. So they should develop as an individual properly. Then when they reach 18, then slowly they adapt how to play competitive games. That's what we have teaching our academy students. We never bother about losing matches when they are below 18.
Nice. I really, really like that. A problem that I see a lot in Indian football with coaches is that a lot of coaches use the youth teams and the grassroots teams to promote their own career so that they can become a first team manager. So I'm really happy that you have this approach towards grassroots. You spoke about your players who have who are now playing in I League and ISL. You've produced many players for both of the leagues. You spoke about Sivasakti, and there's one more player who recently signed a contract with Bengaluru FC, which is Kamlesh. Can you tell me a little bit about him?
Yes, Kamlesh also it's a very big talent. He used to play in wings, both the wings. He used he's a left footer. He look like left footer, but he is equally good in both feet. He can shoot, he can dribble, he can cross in both feet, and very sensible guy. He's a very good dribbler, and he made a lot of assists to Shakti, where he scored a lot of goals in this year, and himself is a goal scorer. So this combination we obviously to miss actually, but end of the day they have to move to the better place and to establish themselves. And this boy also that's what I always prefer when you are young. Most of the coaches they start cutting their own creativities, individual abilities. When a player start dribbling in the age of 11 or 12, let them allow to dribble whenever he wants to dribble. Let them dribble. But most of the coaches they stop their own talents. Then pass when they are when they enter into the box, when he get one on one, he has to dribble, and then most of the players when you see in ISL also, they start looking for passes, instead of dribbling. But nowadays there are players who used to challenge the players. They start dribble, they beat the defenders, then they make crosses. So these kind of thing we are cutting down. Our coaches need to allow the players to do on their own. That's why there's a big difference between South American players and European players. When you see the players, why the special players are from in South America, because that is a big difference you can see. That's what the coaching model also need to be, you know, to allow the player when he was young, and when they become, reach some level, then you start, you know match strategy and your team building and all you can teach. But when they are small, let them do on their own whatever skill comes out. That's the best. That's what we develop as an individual.
That's really nice. So, I recently read that there is no Chennai district league that happens in Tamil Nadu, right? Is that true?
Yes, past 3 years, nothing is happening in Tamil Nadu except ISL and I League. As thank God we have Chennai City and Chennai are give life to Tamil Nadu football. Otherwise, domestic football is completely shut down for various reasons, and uh, that's still going on. Most probably after this quarantine, maybe we get some good solution for that.
Yeah, I imagine that being part of an academy, you want your players to have a platform to play, even in their home city, right? So the absence of a like district league is pretty crucial. So how do you ask your players to approach this kind of challenge?
It's really tough for the second string players, like when you second division players or local league players, and players who wanted to from college to professional level. uh, these are the players are really suffering actually. When you don't have any league or anything, then where they will go and prove themselves? At least we had a youth league to prove that at least these two boys has been recognized, and they signed for BFC. Otherwise, our players also, like other players, they just simply sitting home, and most of the talent has been not utilized properly past 3 years. Really, Tamil Nadu young players are struggling. That that is really unfortunate.
Mm. So, well, Rama, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak with you, and I hope to see many more of your students play in the I League and the ISL at the top level. And I'm going to be looking out for more of your students now. I've had an absolute pleasure speaking with you, and I'm sure lots of people have learned a lot from your conversation. So, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity to express myself. Thank you.